Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to discuss about PCS cluster, CLVMD and DLM. I'm going to show you how to configure a cluster aware logical volume in PCS cluster, and for that I have two nodes here. Currently you can see RHEL7.1 and RHEL7.2. So I have partition already open for these two nodes. This is RHEL7.1 and the other one is RHEL7.2. Okay, so if I just do a crm_mon -r1, you would be able to see the cluster information here, and you can see there are two fence devices created already, which is my second video I have prepared, and it is up there in my channel. If you have not seen my video about the fencing configuration, please watch that video so that you would have a better idea. Okay, so this is my fourth video. The first video is about the installation of two node of initial cluster, and second video was about configuring StoneIt, this one, and the third videos I showed you how to assign a shared LUN in VMware environment. And in this video I'm going to discuss about DLM and CLVMD, cluster aware logical volume, and I'm going to show you how to add them in cluster and manage through PCS cluster. Okay, so for that I have one simple text file where I have kept this in this location. Okay, so if I go to beginning here, and the first step is about the installation of two packages. The first package is about LVM2 cluster. This package is required, and I have already installed this package, so no need to install this package. And in case I'm going to in this video I'm not going to use GFS2 file system, but in my further future videos I'm going to show you how to configure GFS2 file system as well. So that is why we need this package as well. So better we install both the packages, and it should be available on the system. So if I just try to run yum install, and you can see these two packages are already installed. Okay, so the next step is to enable the locking type, which is currently 1, and 1 means file based locking. So we have to make this to cluster aware and distributed locking. So to show you, there is something in lvm.conf file. If I just do grep locking locking type, lvm.conf file, you will be able to see now it is locking type is 1, which is file base. Okay, so I have to make this change to 3. So there are two ways to change this. Either you can go to this file as bi and look for lvm locking underscore type and change that here, or we have one simple command which makes things easier. So that command is lvmconf -enable -cluster. So if I run this command and now try to grab this locking type, you would be able to see it is 3. Okay, so I need to do this same thing on this node as well, because since this node is also part of cluster, enable cluster. Okay, and if I just now try to grab it for locking type in lvm.conf, I will be able to see it is 3. Okay, so why we use locking type 3, and what is distributed lock management? It is DLM. Okay, so sorry, so distributed lock management is nothing but your lock mechanism which is going to use by cluster to avoid inconsistency. So for example, currently you have one LVM right now. If I just do LVS and ignore those alert, ignore those warning, I will tell you why those were for. So for example, I have one LV which is called root, and this LV is shared between the two nodes. I have RHEL01 and 02. So someone is trying to edit or extend the LV route from node 1, and at the same time user B is trying to extend the same logical volume in node 2. So in that case there might be an inconsistency in LVM, and it will not allow you to do it until unless that lock is released. Okay, so to demonstrate that, I will show you a simple thing. Like for now, just to show you the locking information, if I just do a vi/etc host and I have logged in, and I just inserted inside this host file, and again I have taken a duplicate session. Let me take a duplicate session for this same node, and if I again try to edit by, it's a different user, just an HUMF different user. Now you can able to see there is a process which is holding by user root. Okay, this is the process ID, and that is why we are getting this alert. So it is a file based locking mechanism which is default enabled from OSN. Okay, so it is simple as it is. And same thing like for LVM, when we enable DLM and CLVMD, it will not allow any user to extend the file system or modify the file system if somebody is still using. Okay, so I will try to probably show you that one. So for now I'll just go with the configuration. Okay, so now what I have done is I just enable the cluster locking type, and the second thing is reboot. So it is recommended to reboot. So let's see, I'm not going to reboot this time and try to create all the resource group, and let's see if that works or not. Okay, so I'm going to create a DLM resource. This is going to be a cluster DLM resource, and this is CLVMD resource. Okay, so what is CLVMD resource, and what is the work of CLVMD? Okay, so it is a cluster aware, it is a cluster logical volume manager daemon. Okay, what is this daemon job? Okay, to understand, I'll go to this file /etc lvm archive. Okay, so inside this directory location you would be able to see the metadata of your volume group. So currently I have only one volume, which is RHEL, and this RHEL volume metadata is available. So when I'm going to use a shared LAN across my node, right, my cluster nodes. So for example, if somebody has extended one cluster LVM in node 2, so at the same time, how this new logical volume size or the modification will replicate to other node. Example, here in my case it is RHEL01. How it will replicate to that other node in the cluster? So it will replicate through CLVMD daemon. So CLVMD daemon will ensure that your LVM metadata is synced among or across all the nodes running in the cluster. So that is why we need CLVMD. Okay, so let me just create the resource now. So this is for DLM resource. Let me just run this command. It is pretty simple here. PCS resource create, and my resource name is DLM, and resource agent is Redhat Pacemaker control D, and there are some interval monitoring. Those are optional. If you wanted to use, you can use, or you can ignore it. And how the order is going to be, and I'm creating a clone for this one. Okay, so clone is nothing but it should run at the same time on all the nodes. So I have created the DLM one, and Now time to create CLVMD resource. So this is my CLVMD resource. Not this one, sorry, I have taken the wrong one. This is the one. Okay, so this is my CLVMD resource. Now I have created both the resource, and if I just do a crm underscore mon minus r1, I can able to see my resource has been created. So it is all started, and like I told you, it should run on both the node. So that is why we have to create clone. Okay, clone will ensure that the service DLM is started on both the node. So my CLVMD is also running on both the nodes. So now time to add some constraint. So constraint is nothing but relationship or order which we specify. So now I'm saying that the order should be that the DLM should run before CLVMD. Okay, so this is the order which we have to follow. So I have just created the constraint. Let me see whether it has added or not. PCS constraint list, and it is created, and I need to create the other constraint, which is a relationship. Collocation means it is a relationship between CLVMD and DLM. So both should run simultaneously. So I have just created the collocation as well. So now if I just run, it says the same thing, but I can able to see some constraint which I have just now added. Okay, so PCS constraint list, if I do, you can see the order and you can see the collocation information. Fine, so far so good. So now the next step is to create your file system and LV. So file system and LV creation is like simple what we used to create normally. Okay, so currently there is already one VG created. Let me see, flow VG, and it is not mounted. Let me try to remove it. LV remove /dev flow VG flow LV. Yes, and VG remove flow VG. Yes, and now if I do a VGS, I see only one VG, and let me check on the other node 1 VGS. Here also I can see only one VG. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have to format the file system. Before that I need to check my disk. So let me just check the disk here, running this command, and it is still showing pv remove. Let me remove it to show you from the beginning. Okay, so this is the LUN which is shared between the two nodes RHEL01 and 02. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a PV, the normal step which we do for standalone system. So if I just create a PV, it is created, and now if I do a PVS, I can be able to see the PV information here. And if I again go to node 2 and run PVS command, I can be able to see the same information, because remember the CLVMD is doing the thing. Okay, so the population of your metadata information to other node in the cluster is doing by CLVMD here. So now next thing, I need to create a VG. So if I do a VGS, you can see only one VG. So let me create a VG create, and -c is the flag for cluster, and I'm going to say yes. I'm going to create a cluster VG, and just need to give a demo cluster VG. Okay, so I'm just going to give a name called demo VG, and the disk which I'm going to use is /sdv.
So if I just run this command, my VGA is created, and if I just do a VGS, I can see demo VG is created, and if I again do VG display demo VG, you can be able to see there is one flag cam which is saying cluster equal to yes. And now I have created this VG in RHEL01, so that same information needs to populate in the other node as well. So let's see whether that information is populated or not. So if I do a VGS, you can able to see the same VG information is available here in node 2. Okay, so that means we are good with DLM and CLVMD. Fine. So next step is to create the LV. So right now my VG size, if I do a VGS, it is a 2 GB of size. I'm going to create a LV with the size of 1 G. Okay, and I'm going to give a name called demo LV and demo VG. So this is my VG, and it is saying wipe it, just okay, because I think there was XFS file system formatted earlier, that is why that error has thrown. So no need to worry about. So if I just do LVS demo VG, I can able to see one LV has created. So now I need to format this to XFS file system. So that is a default file system in RHEL7 demo LV. So my file system has been created. So far we are good with the file system creation, which is normal procedure which we follow. So now this LV, which is called demo LV, I need to create into I need to add into cluster, and also I need to add this VG into cluster. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a resource. And how I'm going to create a resource, let me show you the text file again. So far we have done this one, and now I'm going to create a resource for my volume group. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is PCS resource add resource create, and I'm going to give a name called LVM minus RSC. This is my LVM resource, group resource. And what is the resource agent type? It is LVM. Okay, and what is my volume group name? GRP, vol GRP name equal to my volume group name is demo VG, right? So that is what we have to give. So I have added a volume group in cluster resource. So let me see whether it is working or not. You can able to see it is started in node 1. Fine. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file system. So this is, I'm going to add the file system which I have just created. Okay, so here let me go to the beginning, because I have changed the name for VG here. So it is demo VG, and my LV name is demo LV, and directory should be, that's okay, it's data, and the other parameters, this option, whether you can make it default, or if you wanted to use it, you can use it. Operation monitor, if you wanted to use, you can use, otherwise you can ignore it. So I have just created the file system, and now let me see whether my file system is created. So it is created but throwing a error, so we don't have to worry about it. I just need to clean up, and let me see, it is still giving an error, so that is okay for now. But why it is giving? Because it is not under any group. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a group here. So in this two primitive, or this two resource, I'm going to add into one group. So how I'm going to do, I need to create a group called, whatever the name you wanted to give, you can give it. So for now I'm just giving a PCS resource group add and GRP minus data. So this is my group name, and inside this group I need this two resource, and I'm just giving this two resource inside this group. and that is done. So now if I just run crm underscore mon minus r1, you can be able to see there is a group created and there is a sub primitive or child resource running under this group. Okay, so let me again just try to clean up this, and let's see, and this time we are fine. So now you can see there is a resource group which I have created, and this is running. There are two file system, there is a volume group and there is a file system. Why I have specified the volume group here? Because in this volume group you may have multiple file system, right? So to avoid confusion whether this file system is running in which volume group, we need to specify a volume group name here. So let me show you a demo. For example, now I have around VGS demo VG, and I have around 1020 MB space free. So let me create another LV minus L 100% free minus N demo LV1 demo VG. So this is my new LV which I am just going to create. Okay, and if I do a demo VG under this, I can see there are two LVM, and let me format this one again, xfs/dev demo 1. So I have formatted the file system as well. So now I have to add this to cluster resource. So for that I have added like this. Let me go to home, and this is going to be my one resource demo VG demo LV1, and it will going to mount in data 1, and other options should be fine. Enter. So now I have created additional primitive or additional resource for file system and added into cluster. So let me see how it is. So now if I run this crm underscore mon command, I can see inside this group there are two primitives, two child process, and there is one more which is not this part of resource group. Okay, so I have to add this primitive inside this group. So for that what I have to do is PCS resource group, it is ungroup, and my group name is this one. So I have to remove the group first. So I have removed it. So now there is no group, and the similar one which I have added earlier, group add, PCS resource group add. This is my group name, this is my volume group name, this is my first file system, and this is my second file system. So let me add it like this. Done. So now if I check the status, now I can see in this resource group, this is my volume group which is demo LV or demo VG, and inside this there are two file systems running on it. And if I just run, these two are started on node 1. So let me just go to node 1 and run df-h, and you can able to see both the file system are available here. And now just to show you a quick demo in failover, so let me run crm underscore mon minus r1, and this is the resource group, PCS resource group, PCS resource move. My resource group name is this one, and I wanted to move this resource group in node 2. So this is my node 2, and just select like this, enter. So I have just moved it, and now if I do a df-h, now I do not see those two file system which is now moved to node 2, and if I just do a crm underscore mon r1, and I can see all are moved to node 2 and it is mounted there. So let me go to node 2 here and just do a df-h, and I can see both the file system are available. So this is how you have to create your CLVMD file system in PCS cluster environment. Okay, so please let me know if you have any doubts, and also please subscribe my channel to encourage me to have more videos like this in PCS cluster and other topics. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. Have a good day.